in a subcommittee until we get a quorum. Probably once we get enough people here, we'll probably pause to do an executive session. But in the meantime, we're going to start in a subcommittee, and we are going to start with Representative McGaugh's House Committee substitute for House Bill 2596. And come forward and hang on just a second. All right, we're going to establish a quorum real quick. Barb, would you please call the roll?
Senators Crawford.
Here.
Gregory. Brown.
Here.
Huff. McCreary. Here. Mosley. Trent.
Here.
We do have a quorum, and Representative McGaugh, you can proceed when you're ready.
Thank you very much, Chairman, and thank you, committee, for allowing me to have this bill in front of you. I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Representative Peggy McGaugh. I represent the 7th District in northern Missouri. My counties are Carroll, Livingston, Lynn, and a portion of Ray County. My counties are very, very rural, agriculture-driven, and very small business-oriented. And as a matter of fact, I have in my district one of the most famous main streets that you've all heard of. Main Street, USA, the home of Walt Disney, Marceline, Missouri. So it's very natural for me to want to carry this bill that is multiple employer self-insured health plans. So House Bill 2596 updates Missouri's law governing multiple employer self-insured health plans to reflect how these plans operate today and to support continued growth and stability. These health insurance plans provide a lifeline to small businesses who often can't offer robust health benefits on their own by allowing them to pool together to operate and offer comprehensive health care coverage. These types of health plans are only available to businesses who have between 2 and 50 employees. It fills a huge need for small employers who can't self-fund a plan on their own like larger employers. I'm carrying this bill because I have had multiple constituents reach out to me and tell me what an amazing tool the multiple employer health plan they are in has been to recruit and retain their employees. You'll hear from the chamber after me, which offers this game-changing plan for small businesses, which would not be able to provide these health quality benefits to their employees without this tool. I've also been working with the Department of Insurance as well as the Missouri Chamber on language to strengthen this bill even further. There are some additional changes that both groups have already found consensus on that I will get to the chair and committee members after the hearing if possible, and if they want to hear that, and you will hear more about that. House Bill 2596 would also help extend access for certain small and family-owned businesses, including sole proprietors in some cases, who often struggle the most to afford affordable coverage options. So here's what the bill actually does. It aligns the law regarding sole proprietors with federal guidance, clarifies that sole proprietors who have at least one unrelated employee are indeed eligible for participation in a multiple employer health plan. This aligns with Federal Department of Labor guidance. Right now, as current law is written, a sole proprietor who had one unrelated employee would not qualify for the insurance program. It also modernizes the amount of plan surplus required to ensure that small businesses' insurance premiums aren't having to be arbitrarily increased to meet a number that was put into our law years ago. I recognize there are some technical aspects related to this program that future witnesses will be able to cover. I want to close by saying that you all know that small businesses are the backbone of our economy. I want to do everything I can to help small businesses and their employees thrive, and I believe this health insurance program is critical to their success and to their employees' well-being. And I'm happy to take any questions you may have.
Thank you, Representative. We're going to pause here to go into executive session since Senator Mosley was just here. Hopefully she'll be back by the time we get through this. So I make a motion we go into executive session. Do I have a second? I have a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. And the ayes have it. All right, bear with me. We have several. I move that we take up Senate Bill 1376. Do I have a second? I have a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. And the ayes have it. This is Senator Trent's bill that we heard, I believe, last week, dealing with the board of directors for insurance companies, taking that from 9 to 5. And I move that we vote Senate Bill 1376 out of committee. Do pass. Do I have a second? I have a second. Any discussion? Perfect. Senator Mosley, we're on Senate Bill 1376. We've gone into executive session. This is the first one. So, any discussion on Senate Bill 1376? Seeing none. Barb, would you please call the roll?
Senators Crawford,
Aye.
Gregory,
Aye.
Brown,
Aye.
Huff, McCreary, Mosley, Trent. 7.
By your vote of 7 ayes and 0 noes, you have passed Senate Bill 1376. I now make a motion that we take up Senate Bill 1021. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say no. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. This is my bill that we heard last week dealing with the Division of Finance, setting up the third tranche as far as fees for the small lenders will go into, so the division can set up that tranche and collect what they need to, but not more and not less, just like they do on financial institutions and the mortgage lending. And I move that we move Senate Bill 1021 out of committee. Do pass. Do I have a second? I have a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, Barb, please call the roll.
Senators Crawford,
Aye.
Gregory,
Aye.
Brown,
Aye.
Huff, McCreary, Mosley, Trent. 7.
By your vote of 7-0, you have passed Senate Bill 1021. I now move that we take up House Bill 2423. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say no. And the ayes have it. This is Representative Oehlerking's bill, which is identical to the one we just voted do pass, dealing with the Division of Finance as well. I move that we vote House Bill 2423 out of committee. Do pass. Do I have a second? I have a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, Barb, please call the roll.
Senators Crawford,
Aye.
Gregory,
Aye.
Brown,
Aye.
Huff, McCreary, Mosley, Trent. And you
6-1.
yes.
By your vote of 6-1, you have passed House Bill 2423. All right. I now move that we take up Senate Bill 1635. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. This is Senator Curtis Gregory's bill relating to the state health plans. We do have a committee substitute ending in .02C. He presented off the sub last week, so this is not a change, and I move that we adopt the substitute. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. All those in favor of adopting the sub, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no, and the ayes have it. I now move that we vote Senate Bill 1635 with Senate committee substitute out of committee. Do pass. Do I have a second? Do I have a second? I have a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Barb, please call the roll.
Senators Crawford,
Aye.
Gregory,
Aye.
Brown,
Aye.
Huff, McCreary? Mosley? I'm sorry, no? Okay. Trent? 5-2.
By your vote of 5-2, you have do pass Senate Bill 1635. I now move that we take up Senate Bill, this is a reconsideration motion. I move that we take up Senate Bill 848 I move that we take up Senate Bill 848. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. Having voted on the prevailing side of the motion to do pass Senate Bill 848, I move that the committee reconsider the vote on said bill. Do I have a second? I have a second. Any discussion on that motion? Senator McCreary.
I voted no on this before. I'm going to vote no on it again, but I'd like to work with the sponsor. The voters put this in place in 2012, and I just feel like it feels it's uncomfortable for me to undo the vote of the people just through this kind of action. So I'll figure something out with the sponsor.
Appreciate that. Any further discussion?
One quick question.
Senator Huff.
So if memory serves, this is the one that the entire committee voted against?
No.
Well,
What was, hang on, no, I'm just trying to clarify.
No, it's not.
What was the vote when we first took action on this?
It was tied.
No, I don't think it was.
It wouldn't have been if I was here, but I didn't know we were bringing it up. It's my bill. But I wasn't told that we were going to vote on it, so it would have passed.
I'm just trying to clarify where the bill was before, and now we're reconsidering it, which is fine, like, everyone's prerogative, totally get that.
and I'll be honest, Senator Huff, I flipped my vote in case we needed to reconsider it, so I would have been a yes.
I didn't know we were going to vote on it or it would have passed.
So the whole committee voted no,
Actually, they did not. There was 4 noes,
and one present.
2 absent, and 1 present.
Okay. Just checking.
I understand your comment. Any further discussion? Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Senators Crawford?
Aye.
Gregory?
Aye.
Brown?
Aye.
Huff?
No.
McCreary? Mosley? Trent? 5-2.
By your vote of 5-2, you have do passed Senate Bill 848. That's all of them. I make a motion that we go out of executive session. Do I have a second? I have a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. And we're back in regular session. And Representative McGaugh, I believe you had finished your presentation, and so now we will ask for, is there anyone to testify in favor of House Committee Substitute for House Bill 2596? Please come forward at this time.
Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the committee. My name is Kara Corches, here today on behalf of the Missouri Chamber of Commerce and Industry in support of this bill. As Representative McGaugh stated earlier, we are one of the MEWA plans in the state. What that means is we have a self-funded health insurance plan that is administered by a separate trust in which I am the chairperson of. This trust has a variety of employers who serve on it to help us govern this plan. This plan is specifically for small businesses with between 2 to 50 employees. This is comprehensive health coverage. We are subject to providing any type of ACA mandates. We also even offer vision and dental as well as health coverage within this. What I can tell you is that this is an absolute game changer for small businesses who would not be able to offer such health insurance without the chamber benefit plan. I can tell you that our team has this health insurance, my family has it, and it is as robust as plans that I have been covered under by Fortune 500 companies. And you all know in this incredibly competitive labor market, we want to be doing everything we can to help our small businesses recruit and retain employees by providing these costly benefits. The bottom line of this bill, it is making technical fixes that are needed to provide more stability and ensure that small business owners don't have to just arbitrarily put in additional fees because of things that were put in statute years ago. One of the qualifications for our plan, you do have to be a member of either us, or you're more likely a member of one of our 205 local chambers across the state. That is a legal statutory requirement to make sure that we are related types of employers. Right now, we actually cover 4,073 small businesses across the state with a total of 47,000 lives covered. We have a 90% retention rate, which is actually quite incredible for health insurance. That just shows that our focus is making sure that we are providing high quality coverage at affordable cost for employers. I do want to just address quickly what this bill actually does. It ensures that if you're a sole proprietor with an unrelated employee, that you would be eligible to have this coverage. Right now, that you would not count into that 2-employee coverage range, and so it's making that technical change. Sole proprietor with one unrelated employee. I get asked all the time, why isn't it just sole proprietors? Because that would mean that we're in the individual insurance market, and that's not what we're trying to do here. Also, the minimum surplus requirement. I also want to be clear on that. Having a surplus requirement is good. We don't want to take that away because that ensures that plans remain solvent and continue to pay health claims out. This just puts our minimum surplus requirement in alignment with what's already in existing law, and it makes it to essentially not just be an arbitrary number. I would say to how you would equate this is we put in a number years ago in the statute that would be like us saying at the end of the month, every family must have $100 in their bank account, which doesn't account for inflation. Right now, if we look at the end of next year, it's going to be about a $400,000 increase in our surplus requirement. So we just want to make sure that this is tied to a verifiable number that's already used for other health insurance plans that ensures that we don't have to raise fees just to keep up with the surplus requirement. Health insurance is one of the biggest pain points for employers, and we know that this bill is a great tool in addressing those pain points and supporting both stronger local economies and workforce retention, which is a good thing for our state. And with that, I'm happy to take any questions you may have.
Questions for this witness? Senator McCreary.
I'm pleased to know that this is available. Does it also work if it's an employer that's a nonprofit? Okay.
Yeah, we actually have, we cover, private sector, so manufacturers, restaurants, retails. We also have churches and even some small cities who are members of our health insurance plan. As long as you're an employer, whatever that looks like, you're eligible.
Very good, thank you.
Further questions for this witness? Seeing none. Just for your information, we're going to have to go back into executive session. My fault, I missed a motion on one of our bills. You can go ahead, sorry. We're trying to get everybody back in here, so we may have to take yet another pause. So my mistake, and I assume you're here to testify in favor, next up in favor, so go right ahead.
Hello, I'm Tamara Tatesian. I'm the CEO of the Callaway Chamber of Commerce located in Fulton, Missouri, and I'm here to speak in favor of House Bill 2596. This MEWA program is so important to our members and our community, our small businesses. They don't have an opportunity to get health insurance for their 2 to 50, but this MEWA program allows them to do that. As a Chamber of Commerce, I have over 30 businesses right now currently that have the MEWA program. It has been a cost savings for them, but also it has assisted them in retaining workforce as small businesses. So I am in favor of the MEWA program, and thank you so much for your time.
Questions for this witness? Seeing none. Thank you very much. Next up in favor.
Good afternoon. My name is Jan Havland. I have a manufacturing company down in Lynn, Missouri, and we manufacture squeegees. We are a small business, and we've been in this plan for about 5 years, and it does help as a small business employer to keep people. Of the employees, we have probably over 285 years of employees in our business right now, and it speaks a lot for what we do. We have full coverage for each employee and 75% for their families. So we feel that this has really been a big help for us in being able to provide the best for our employees and our community.
Thank you. Questions for this witness? Seeing none, thanks for being here. Just a reminder to everybody to please fill out a witness form and leave it on the desk. Next up, in favor.
I was going to say good morning, but it's good afternoon. Good afternoon, Madam Chairwoman, members of the committee. My name is Arnie C., AC DNOS, State Public Advocate. I submitted my online testimony. Did you receive it this morning?
I did see it in my email.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. Thanks. I did testify in the House of Representatives in the Health and Mental Health Committee. I believe I provided electronic testimony. For some reason, there was one of the weeks that there was a glitch, and I didn't see my testimony on the House website, but I was in favor when this bill originally started in the House. This small business insurance pool allows an option, and I think that that's good for Missourians. The more options, the more availability, the more self-assurance that they have. I think that we should give them that leeway and those opportunities. Now, when it comes, I want to make sure that the pool funds are solvent. And the $600,000, I don't think is a reasonable amount to keep as a reserve. As we all know, there needs to be large reserve funds to prepare for large catastrophic needs. I can tell you that some people have medical needs. Unfortunately, I don't even say the word. It starts with a C and ends in an R. And that word could cost millions of dollars in terms of a catastrophic event. There are some shots that cost anywhere from $50,000 to $150,000 per month, per quarter, or every 6 months the patients are in need of. And I want to ensure that these small business pools, that they have enough reserve funds to account for any catastrophic events. I want to make sure that there's no gap in coverage and that there are no caps to any of the participants. And finally, I want to make sure that this bill covers that there's no declining of any coverage to any of the participants or pre-existing conditions. That happens a lot with health insurance companies when it's a pre-existing condition or something comes up and all of a sudden the insurance company or a pooled account wants to deny coverage. We want to make sure that all Missourians are treated equally on an even keel playing field. For those reasons, this bill makes a lot of sense with the amendments that I proposed, and I am in support of HCS HB2596. Thank you, Madam Chairwoman.
Thank you for your testimony. Questions for this witness? Seeing none, and we're going to go back into executive session, so I make a motion we go into executive session. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say no. And the ayes have it. All right, I'm going to go slowly through this. Scott, wave at me if I've missed something this time. I apologize, my fault. I move that we take up Senate Bill 848. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. And the ayes have it. Having voted on the prevailing side of the motion to do pass Senate Bill 848, I move that the committee reconsider the vote on said bill. Do I have a second? I have a second. Is there any discussion? I will make one comment. Senator Huff, we did try to get in touch with him, but he had left the building, so we're not trying to vote without him, but he had already left the building and everybody else is back. So apologies to bring you all back in here. All right, is there any discussion on my motion? This is the motion to reconsider. Barb, please call the roll.
Senators Crawford,
Aye.
Gregory. Brown. Huff. McCreary. Mosley.
To reconsider.
Yes. And Trent.
6.
Yes.
By your vote of 6-0, you have voted to reconsider the bill. Yes. All right. Now, we're back on the bill, and I move that we vote Senate Bill 848 out of committee. Do pass. Do I have a second? I do have a second. Is there any discussion on that motion? This will be the vote to pass or fail the bill. Seeing no discussion, Barb, would you please call the roll?
Senators Crawford.
Aye.
Gregory. Brown. Huff. McCreary. Mosley. Trent. 5-1.
By your vote of 5-1, you have actually do passed Bill 848 this time. Scott, did we get it all? We're good. Okay, I make a motion we go out of executive session. I have a second. All in favor say aye. We are back on House Committee Substitute for House Bill 2596. Anyone else to testify in favor? Seeing none, is there anyone here wishing to testify in opposition? Seeing none, anyone here for informational purposes only? Seeing none, Representative, any final comments?
Thank you, Chairwoman. I did want to perhaps clear up something that might have been a little bit misconstrued, and to answer what the last witness may have pointed out, that amount is much higher than the $600,000. The reserve amount or the amount in reserve that's necessary for this plan is $5.5 million and not $600,000. And I apologize if that was not brought out in my testimony. And also, I wanted to point out something that in the House, for maybe one of the first times this session, this bill went out of the House 145-0. So I thought that was pretty telling that it's well taken on the House side. And I appreciate the time that you have taken, and I appreciate being heard. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Representative. This will conclude the hearing on House Committee Substitute for House Bill 2596. We're now going to move to my Senate Bill 1543. I'm going to hand the gavel over to the Vice Chair, and I'll be down shortly.
Yes, you may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. For the record, Sandy Crawford, District 28. Let me say right off the bat, we have distributed a Senate Committee sub. That is what we'll be doing that's what I'll be presenting off of. So Senate Bill 1543 strengthens consumer protections, reduces fraud, and meaningful invests in making Missouri homes more resilient. As severe weather becomes more frequent and more costly for Missouri families, these reforms are both timely and necessary. First, the improvements, there's improvements made to the public adjuster regulations, and that provides essential safeguards for consumers at a time where they're the most vulnerable. It will cap fees, prohibit misleading practices, and ensure homeowners clearly understand what they are signing, and this bill will prevent exploitation in the aftermath of storms. The bill also strengthens protections against assignments of benefits, which is a practice that's caused significant fraud and inflated claim prices in other states. Another critical piece of the bill is it strengthens the anti-fraud framework. It gives the Division of Commerce and Insurance enhanced tools to investigate and act on fraudulent activity. The legislation protects not just insurers, but Missouri consumers who ultimately pay the price for fraud through higher premiums. Senate Bill 1543 prohibits insurers from canceling or refusing to renew a policy based solely on the roof age of under 15 years. One of the most significant pieces of the legislation, it creates the Missouri Stronger Homes Program. This is a grant program that's funded by dedicated funds that helps homeowners strengthen their roofs, improve structural safety, and reduce long-term costs. Other states have implemented similar programs, and they've seen meaningful reductions in damage after major storms. Additionally, the Missouri Disaster Mediation Act gives homeowners a free, non-adversarial way to resolve disputed claims after a declared disaster. This helps families recover faster, reduces litigation, and encourages fair, timely settlements. These provisions modernize Missouri's insurance laws, support consumer rights, and advance long-term resiliency. Senate Bill 1543 helps Missouri families, strengthens communities, and reduces future costs for everyone. I'm happy to answer questions, but I believe there's somebody here from DCI that can fill in more specific details. But I do think this is a great bill for Missouri consumers, and I'm happy to answer questions.
Questions for the senator? Seeing none. First witness in favor, and folks, we are limiting all testimony to 2 minutes or less. Please proceed when you're ready.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair and member of the committee. My name is Stephen Marion. I am the Legislative Director at the Department of Commerce and Insurance. As you can tell, it's a pretty substantive package in front of you. I'll be brief. The Senator did a great job of explaining the bill. As far as the public adjuster piece, we are capping the public adjuster fees at 10%. The recent tornado that hit St. Louis last year, we did a bunch of work in St. Louis, and we were seeing some public adjusters getting up to 30%. That's coming right out of the settlement claim from the insurance company. So that 30% is 30% less that you have to repair your home, roof, whatever it is. There's also a 10-day grace period for consumers to allow the insurance company to settle these claims. We'd heard stories of public adjusters showing up less than 24 hours after significant storms, and getting consumers in a time of need to sign contracts. We've also required a disclosure statement be included in a public adjuster contract that directs them, includes the Department of Commerce and Insurance's website and phone number. We do these services for free, and so it's more money the consumer gets to hold to keep to repair their home. One of the other big pieces that we are excited about is the disaster mediation program. This is language that North Carolina has that we took from. Florida, Louisiana, Mississippi, New York, New Jersey also have disaster mediation programs. The purpose of the mediation program is to provide faster, cheaper, less formal, and non-adversarial alternatives to litigation for insurance disputes. This program is only established during a state of emergency, so this isn't something that's always available. It's only in a time of need. It's also the insurance companies are the ones who pay the total cost of this mediation program. It's no cost to the consumer.
10 seconds.
Final one is the Missouri Stronger Homes Program. 8 states have it. We're really excited about this one too. It allows up to $15,000 grant to secure and provide stronger roofs to hopefully create some resiliency and less roof claims. And with that, I'll answer any questions.
Thank you. Questions for the witness? Senator?
Lots of questions. So you were talking a little bit about the tornado that hit St. Louis in May as an example.
Sure.
So like we were down there with chainsaws, the tornado hit on a Friday, we were down there on Saturday, and I already noticed trucks with out-of-state license plates going door to door. People were still in shock. There were people like standing on their porches crying, that kind of thing. And I just had a funny feeling the entire time that people were like, it was almost like they were being taken advantage of, I think. So walk me through again what part of this bill would maybe help protect people that are still like in that like early stage
Sure.
of trauma.
There are, and forgive me, I don't know the exact page number. There are provisions in here though that require, especially on the contracting piece that required them to have a state ID license.
Okay.
So that, what I think you're referring to are storm chasers, essentially. They come across.
Yeah,
and
when I Googled the name of the company, like, I can't just assume that it's an out-of-state plate, like, maybe, but like the company from the Secretary of State's office, I couldn't see that they had any authority to be even doing business in the state. I feel like they just drove to St. Louis overnight and were taking advantage of people, is what it felt like to me as somebody picking up wood.
Yeah, there is in 379-3125 is the contractor requirements that we've included in there.
Okay.
The goal is to have certified roofers that are IBHS, and this is for the Stronger Homes program, but so they have a Missouri tax ID number so
Okay.
that they are required to be here in the state.
Okay, and then you said that there would be like a 10-day grace period where, so say it's 24 hours after the storm, they signed something, then they calm down and maybe talk to family members or whatever and realize they made a mistake, they would have 10 days to get out of that?
This allows an insurance company, before an adjuster a public adjuster could come in, this allows a 10-day grace period before they can get into a contract with a homeowner. The insurance company gets 10 days to settle the claim themselves so that they have time to, like you said, think about it, but also so that they're not just, oh my God, I just lost my home, I'll sign whatever.
Yeah.
You promised to get me, they promised the moon and stars, and they don't come through on that. And so
Okay.
this gives the insurance company a chance to settle that claim.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Thank you.
Further questions for the witness? Seeing none, thank you so much. Next witness in favor, Senate Bill 1543. Again, please limit your testimony to 2 minutes or less.
Hampton Williams with the Missouri Insurance Coalition. I appreciate Chairman Crawford's work on this bill. It has a lot of components on it, some that our members are more comfortable with, some that we have concerns with. Just to start off the top, the Stronger Homes Act is a requirement to allow for grants for fortified roofs. These are kind of higher quality roofs. The funding for that program is coming through the fees that are paid in by insurance companies. This is an allocation that the department's making. The purpose of those fees were for the operation of the office. So I'll raise that a issue that's not coming from general revenue, it is coming from this other program. In other states that have implemented this, what the bill proposes is that if an individual installs a fortified roof, then carriers are required to provide some manner of discount on the premium for the home insurance. There are states that have done this. Our language, importantly, requires that those discounts have to be actuarially justified. That language is incredibly important for this to make any business sense for our members to engage with. By the concern, this is kind of a slippery slope issue, that if the idea is that we can regulate discounts on products, because we can't control tariffs, we can't control the cost of goods, and again, we appreciate the general concern. Our number one concern is being cost conscious for our customers. But that is a concern that we have about that program moving forward. This bill has the actuarially justified language in it, but just an issue. On the concern on fraudulent acts, there's a language which prohibits the use of solicitations offering waivers or offset for deductibles for contractors. 28 states have similar prohibitions. We're supportive of that language. On the public adjuster term, to clarify a point, this 10-day grace period has to do with being able to get a full 10% commission on the total amount. Public adjusters, I still would believe would be allowed to charge some type of hourly rate of some time for their services before that. But there are multiple states that have put in a 10% cap on total claims: Texas, Michigan, Illinois, Kentucky, New York, others. On the roofing section, so there's a section that says that companies cannot renew or discontinue future contracts based solely off the age of the roof of a building. Roof-related damages, it's the most common source of homeowner insurance claims. The age of a roof the deterioration of a roof over time is directly related to future claims, and so a concern with being able to say that we're going to prohibit the use of that as a metric would be that we're going to expose ourselves to greater costs in the future. With that said, that is the justification for why there are certain carriers that are using that as a metric, but we're happy to continue conversations with the sponsor on that language specifically. On the Disaster Mediation Act, I will say most policies already contain some type of dispute resolution procedure. We have discussed with the department about specific terms on implementing this type of program. We appreciate everyone's feedback throughout this process. A lot of our members have questions on how just functionally to implement that, and both the sponsor and the department have been great about engaging in those conversations. And the final thing I'll add about the substitute is at the very end there's some language that applies to 380 entities. Those are mutual insurance companies. Those are nonprofits. They are in a separate chapter. I think in the initial draft, the programs for the mediation program and the roofing grant program incorporated them in Chapter 379. The purpose of that last section is just to designate that those are separate entities, that they're still eligible for those programs in 379, but that they're not pulled into the requirements because there are different filing obligations for a private carrier under 379 than there is for a mutual nonprofit under 380, and we want to make sure that those are distinct. Happy to take questions.
Questions for the witness?
Related to this bill, but not in the bill, are you, as an insurer coalition, seeing that there's more new construction these days with more adequate roofing? Because my understanding is that the technology is out there to make roofs more substantial and more resistant to storms. Are you seeing that in new construction, or has it still not really caught on?
I don't think that if you compare Missouri to other states,
yeah.
And a lot of these programs are coming from coastal states,
yeah.
which deal with more frequent tropical storms or anything else. I don't think that you see the same type of implementation in Missouri as you do see in other states for new construction. Mm-hmm. The other thing that distinguishes Missouri from other states is that there are states which have uniform building codes. Missouri does not have that, and it's kind of a patchwork. For those that do have building codes, it's a little bit of a patchwork. I think the policy prescription here is in an appreciation that there is not an existing building code structure where you could make recommendations to enhance what future construction would be, that this grant program, which is only tailored to residential homes, would be a way to encourage that type of development in the future.
Yeah, more of the carrot approach to things.
That's right.
So,
yeah.
Very good. Thank you.
Further questions? Seeing none, thanks so much for being here. Next witness in favor of Senate Bill 1543. Seeing none, any witnesses in opposition of Senate Bill 1543?
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me, members of the committee, Chairwoman. My name is Randy Alberhaski. I am here as an attorney from Springfield, Missouri, and on behalf of the Missouri Association of Trial Attorneys. As part of my service with MATA over the last 15 years, I've been part of the emergency response team that follows up on tornadoes. I responded to the tornadoes in Joplin in 2011, in St. Louis in 2024. There's often chaos and misinformation and abuse on all ends and in all directions when it comes to these emergency events. So I commend the sponsor and the Senate for taking up this bill, because I think many of the provisions in the bill are good. I think they would help clarify situations and make it easier for consumers to pursue their rights, in a fashion that doesn't require litigation. It's much needed, however, there's a specific provision on page 14 of the bill that I would dispute as helping consumers. I think it has the opposite effect, and I don't think it belongs. On page 14, if you look in there, under the mediation requirement, it states that if you don't require mediation on time within 60 days of your notice of mediation, then you lose your rights to pursue your rights under the 537.058 and 537.065, which these two statutes deal with, first of all, prejudgment interest in personal injury cases, and secondly, in bad faith cases, in personal injury cases. I don't think they have anything to do with the intent or purpose of this bill, and I don't think they belong there, and I think they would stifle consumer protections, because both of those statutes deal with personal injuries again, as opposed to roofing contracts and other property damage, which is the intent of the bill. And by taking those bills and putting a draconian 60-day limit on filing your claims and pursuing your rights under the law when the statute of limitations is 5 years, I can't fathom how this exception to these two statutes fits into this bill. I just don't think it belongs at all. And so, again, as a whole, I have no problem with the bill. I think as a whole, it does help people, and I've seen firsthand the devastation and the worry and the chaos on these property owners. But page 14, the top paragraph, does not do that, and it doesn't belong in this bill.
Thank you. Questions for the witness?
Could you say that section, because we're working off of a sub, and I want to make sure. Are you? Is it this?
It's the mediation.
379.3020.
I'll take your word on that.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I don't have that.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Further questions for the witness? Seeing none, thank you so much for being here.
right,
Next
thank
witness
you.
in opposition. Just as a reminder to keep your remarks to 2 minutes. We are running out of time. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Vice Chairman, members of the committee. My name is Arnie C. A.C. Dienoff, State Public Advocate. I submitted my electronic testimony online. I am opposed to SB 1545. The substitute is more confusing. The transfer of funds for a Missouri Stronger Homes Fund, that doesn't belong in the bill. I agree with some of the caveats of the consumer protections, getting bad actors out of the business and people committing fraud. You know, I have a bad roof, and I've been going through with my insurance company going on 2 years next month, and it's been a struggle. It's been frustrating. It's been unbelievably the back and forth, and now I'm getting a cold shoulder from them and ignoring. And so when Sesssion is out or during spring break, I'm going to have to really work on this issue, because they have not made myself whole. The Disaster Mediation Act, resolving claims, I'm not sure if I buy all that, and especially when it's being funded by the insurance company. It puts up a lot of red flags for me. The Missouri Stronger Home Act, I believe, needs to be taken out of the bill. I believe there's some real constitutional issues that if this bill was challenged across the street at the Missouri Supreme Court, that it would probably be invalidated. Not to mention the fiscal note of over $17 million over 3 fiscal years when we're facing a fiscal crisis in Missouri that everybody in this building wants to ignore. We have to take out of this fiscal year $1 billion, another $1 billion by fiscal year 28 next year. And so this bill creates 7 full-time new positions, which are costly positions to the Department of Insurance. It's
10
fiscal
seconds.
irresponsibility, and so I'm not in favor of the bill. Thank you.
Questions for the witness? Seeing none, thanks so much for being here. Next witness to testify in opposition. Seeing none. Anyone to testify for informational purposes only? Seeing none. Senator, for closing remarks.
Thank you for hearing the bill, and you can go ahead and adjourn if you want.
Thank you very much. This concludes the hearing, and it concludes the committee. Thank you.